Not a big difference between second and third floor, with one exception. In the third floor, I had a bigger swing in...
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm in the middle of filming. Can I call you back in like 20 minutes?
Call me back whenever you like, because I have nothing better to do.
If you have watched any of my previous videos around networking or Wi-Fi's, you know I'm a huge fan of Wi-Fi mesh versus a single access point router. That doesn't mean Wi-Fi mesh is always a better solution compared to a singular router, but more often than not, it is going to be a better solution for most consumers. This video is sponsored by Azores. They send me the latest Wi-Fi mesh for me to test and review. As always, I'll give you my unbiased opinion, share some pros and cons, but because this is a sponsored video, it means there's going to be a giveaway. I'm going to go ahead, put a secret code into this entire video, which is not going to be hard to figure out, but once you figure it out, you need to head over to my Instagram page. I have the link in my description below, and send me a DM with what the secret code is, and then just drop a comment in the YouTube channel that you send me a DM so I can go ahead add you to the list. Before we get too deep into the video, my name is Sean. This is my tech channel. Welcome to the channel. If this is the first time you're stopping by and you enjoy content like this, you even want to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video and turn on the notification so you won't miss my future content. So I already said I really like Wi-Fi mesh, but also the other thing that is important to know about the latest Wi-Fi technology, which is Wi-Fi 6, and the benefits that it offers. What makes this Wi-Fi mesh exciting compared to some of the previous models I have reviewed is this mesh Wi-Fi also supports Wi-Fi 6. Number one, there are not that many Wi-Fi mesh products available that support Wi-Fi 6. Number two, the select few that are available are very expensive compared to this model. Obviously, you can check the link in the description below to see the latest prices that they have on Amazon. A few months ago, I did a video describing that, so instead of regurgitate and tell you everything all over again, I'm just gonna play a small segment of that video to briefly tell you about the benefits of Wi-Fi 6, and then we're gonna jump back and review this product. First exciting change in Wi-Fi 6 is a technology called OFDMA. It's a mouthful, don't ask me what it stands for, but let me tell you why it's so exciting. Your router is able to divide this highway into smaller lanes, and in theory, it can communicate with up to 30 devices at once. And because of this flexibility that it has, it is able to allocate the necessary amount of bandwidth to each device, and it can continue to update that. For example, my smart bulb may not need that much bandwidth, and it may only take a small part of this highway to transmit data back and forth. So when you're streaming 4K or doing online gaming or using cloud gaming, it may decide to allocate a bigger chunk of this highway to that one device as long as you need it. And all this is being done seamlessly in the background. So in Wi-Fi 5, which was 802.11 AC, there was a new technology release called multi-user MIMO. Your router would be able to communicate with up to 4 devices at once. Now it can communicate up to 8 devices using multi-user MIMO, both download and upload at the same time. The third exciting feature of Wi-Fi 6 is Bss Coloring. So imagine every time I'm trying to talk to you, I hear a voice, I have to pause and try to see if I'm hearing the neighbors through the wall, or if maybe my wife or someone else in the house is calling me. The same thing happens with the current technology of Wi-Fi 5 or older Wi-Fi. So every time there's transmission from my neighbors, my Wi-Fi has to pause and try to identify if that is a transmission that my router needs to actually accept and do something with it or not. With Bss Coloring, there are going to be identifiers on each of these packets. So if there is something coming from surrounding Wi-Fis in my neighborhood or my neighbors, my router is not gonna go ahead pause the transmission of the data inside my house to try to see whether it needs to do something with it or not. This particular is gonna be very useful if you live in an apartment or in a townhouse community where there's going to be a lot of Wi-Fi signals are flying all over the air. Excellent. So now that we know what Wi-Fi 6 can bring in and we already know about Wi-Fi mesh, let's talk about this monster of a Wi-Fi and see what it brings to us. This is a dual model. So basically you get a master and a secondary that you get to place somewhere else inside your house. And then they also have a single unit that you can get if you have a smaller apartment and you do not need to get two of them. So first, let's talk about the setup. Once you look at the bottom of your units, one of them would have a QR code at the bottom of it. That is going to be your master unit that you need to plug into your main modem that you get your internet service. Once that is connected, first you will see the LED indicator will come on red, and in about a minute or so, then it will become a solid green, and that's how you know the setup is done. In order to connect the second unit, it's the same thing. When you're ready to connect, there are two ways you can do this. You can simply go to your phone and look at the SSID that is printed at the bottom of your units, as well as the password, and you can connect that way. Or you can use again your laptop and open up your browser and go to the IP address 192.168.0.1. So I live in a 3-story house, about 3,000 square feet. I set up my main master unit in the first floor. I'm forced to set it up that way because that's where my modem is, inside my garage. And then the second unit, I installed it on the second floor, but on the opposite end, so that way I can get a decent coverage to the third floor as well. So this was kind of like the idea I had. I tested this 5 times on each floor in different spots, and then took the average so you guys will have an idea of what my experience was like. First, on the first floor, I had an average download speed of 220 megabits per second and an upload speed of 132 megabits per second. The highest download speed I had was 319, and the highest upload speed I had was 227. On the second floor, the average download speed I had was 195 megabits per second, and average upload speed was 105. The fastest download speed I had was 265, and the fastest upload speed I had was 145. This is on the second floor. On the third floor, I had an average download speed of 196, and then an average upload speed of 104 megabits per second. So second and third floor, they had very similar average speeds. The difference was third floor unit, because it was furthest away from both units, I had a bigger swing in my fastest and slowest speed. For example, I had the fastest download speed I had on the third floor was 313 megabits per second. The slowest I had was 115. So that was a big swing in 2 different tries. My house may be a little bit too big for this coverage, or maybe I didn't have the best placement, but I wanted to be transparent and actually share some of these results with you. And I just realized I forgot to talk about the design and the look and feel of these units. So this is my iPhone 11 Pro Max for size comparison. It's ventilated at the top for the cooling. What's exciting is each of these access points, they have 4 ports available. Now, one of those ports, number 1, in the master, will be used to get the connection, but then rest of them are available for use. If you look at many of the available mesh systems in the market, you rarely, and I mean rarely, find any that will have that many ports available in the back. They only come in white. It is made out of plastic, but overall it has a very simple design. The LED at the bottom, it gives you a really nice glow, but if you want to turn that off, you can turn it off using the app or when you go to the dashboard. So first, when you log in, you can see the overall picture of your network and the connected devices. What's pretty cool is right from your dashboard, you can go in and deny access to any of the connected devices right from the dashboard right here. Another really cool feature of this Wi-Fi mesh is you can have the device to merge your 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz into one SSID. And the system is smart enough to know if they need to connect a particular device into a 2.4 band or 5 gigahertz band. Call that Wi-Fi Smart Connect, but you can actually turn that on or off, so depending on what your needs are. If there is any firmware update, you can do an over-the-air update, which is pretty cool. You can set up a blacklist, and when you go to the add-on section, you can set up a guest network as well as parental control. The way you will set up the parental control, first the particular device needs to connect to the Wi-Fi, and then once you come to this section, you identify which device it is. So for example, my iPhone 11 Pro Max, and then I click on internet access. I can give it the time and day of the week, so I can restrict when they'll be able to have access to this. So for example, if I don't want them to be able to get on the internet after 9 p.m. so that way they can finish their homework and go to bed, then I can go ahead and restrict their internet access on that device after 9 p.m. So overall, what I think about this device, there's a lot that I do like about this. Number one, this is the first Wi-Fi mesh I have tested that has Wi-Fi 6 technology available. So it's almost best of both worlds. So in real life scenarios, this should give you a more consistent speed compared to any other network. Other network and routers and Wi-Fi's, they may give you a fast speed, but then the moment the number of users increase or the time of the day, you will see a very big swing into the performance you get, and Wi-Fi 6 typically can help with that. The second thing I like is the design. I think this is simple and elegant enough that you can have it simply placed on your table, in your office table, or on the corner of a kitchen counter. So depending on your layout, and it's a simple white cylinder that can sit on a table for you. The other thing I really like, again, the number of ports available, and I cannot stress how important this can become depending on your usage. What are some of the things I don't like about this? The app they offer, it offers the basic controls such as changing your password, changing the name of the SSID, turning the LEDs on or off, setting up the guest network, but it does not offer any advanced features. So if we could have access to parental control through the app, I think that would be awesome, but they don't have that available. So this was it, guys. Hopefully by now you were able to figure out what the secret code was. If you want to participate in the drawing, all you have to do, head over to my Instagram page, send me a DM with the code, and just comment down below on my YouTube channel that you send me a DM, so that way I can go ahead and add you to the list of potential winners. If you have not smashed that like button, please do so for the YouTube algorithm so they can go ahead and recommend this to more viewers. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.